Hello everyone and welcome to Makeover Monday week 51 Watch Me Viz. I can't believe we're almost at the end of another year. If I forget, everybody have a great holiday season. We are going to be checking out here soon and enjoying the rest of our holiday. If you're new here, my name is Andy Kriebel. I am the global head coach of the data school, so I help train great data analysts, and I appreciate you joining me today. If you like what you see, please tell other people. It helps me grow the channel. It helps me create better content and those sorts of things. And if you like this video, please like it. And don't forget to click on subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we are looking at, let's see here, just give me 1 second. And it looks like there's nobody watching today either. Okay, so we are looking at religious affiliations in the UK, comparing two census, one from 2011 and another one from 2021. So the 2021 census just came out recently, and this was an article that I saw in The Guardian that basically it had just a map. I mean, pretty straightforward. The map itself was part of a bigger article. So let me just go ahead and bring up this article. Actually, I think I already have it open, but I'll bring it up again anyway. And the main point here was that Christianity is now a minority in England and Wales. The data set that I created only has England, if you started using it earlier today, I would encourage you to re-download it. So Sam Parsons made me aware of some issues with the data, so I've corrected those. There was some realignment in the areas between 2011 and 2021, so they consolidated some of the regions in 2011 into larger regions in 2021. So I had to do a lot of manual lookups and things like that to, kind of like searching for names on Google and finding out which regions they fell into and things. So if you have done this already, I would encourage you to re-download the data and maybe freshen up your viz. And it's only really an issue if you're using both the 2021 and the 2011 data. The 2021 data was fine in the first place. Okay, so so this map here is looking at the percent of the population, the proportion of the population who do not follow any religion, and anything that's in kind of the dark purple means that more than 50% of the people do not follow any religion. So despite England being a church state, so Henry VIII created the Church of England, and if you don't know your history, I would encourage you. He's a fascinating character. He's the one that killed all of his wives. But it's so he wanted to break away from the Catholic Church and created the Church of England and just said, the heck with you, Pope, I'm going to create my own religion. And since then, England has been based on the Church of England, which is a form of Christianity. London in particular is incredibly diverse. There's probably, there's every religion you can think of. There is one interesting religion. The data set itself is kind of broken into, let me see if I can pull it up here. That might help. Let me find it here. Right, so you see these religions here on the right-hand side. These are the different religions it's broken up into. And there's this section called Other Religion, and then that was broken out as well. I didn't provide those because I couldn't find them for 2021. But it was really interesting because there's even a religion called Jedi. And there were a lot, like 13,000 people that say Jedi is their religion. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so the focus is on this map, but I provided both data sets because there were also some other interesting articles here. So about 74,000 people have paganism as their primary religion. Some of these we can't map because, for example, we don't have data in Wales. And then you've got here less than half the population is identified as Christian now. And if you look at no religion and religion not stated, you're looking at over 50% of the people. Okay, and here is, okay, so this is the section where they broke out the other, that other religion section. It looks like they don't list them all, but this is the area that Jedi fell into. Okay, and then there's some information about minorities, which is data that we are we're not looking at. Okay, so overall though, I like the map. I think it's really interesting, and the callouts in the map are very good as well, because they help you see those areas that you need, that they wanted to call out in the article itself. I am monitoring the comments for this as well, so if you have any comments, just leave them in the chat. And I have a second screen here that I am looking at the comments, and I'd love your participation. So yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect to the data. And I got to remember where I put it. So it's probably here. Let's see. So religion here. There is. If I pull up, let me. I'm sure you guys are curious how many people there are that are Jedi. Let me see if I can find this one. I think it's this one. Yeah. So let me just look up Jedi. There we go. So across the entirety of, so this is England and Wales. There are 776,000 people that identify their religion as Jedi, which is interesting. There's some really strange one. Humanist, I've never heard of that. Realist, anyway, lots of different. Heavy metal as a religion, I didn't know that could be a religion. Yeah, okay, so the data I provided has just the raw numbers, so I'm going to probably do some conversions along the way to make these percentages, but let's just get started with the data. So I've connected to the data, and so we have the local authority, the some other things in here. I did provide a shape file as well. I don't know if it's useful though, because I don't know if all of the lower tier local authorities have a match in that shape file, because they're not from the same time period. So I'm going to try to not use a map for now. Okay, so we've got the 2011 data and the 2021 data. So let's go ahead and create a new sheet. Maybe the first thing we do is I'm just going to see how many people. So there's 56 million people in the census for 2021, and then so 53 million. So 33.4, almost 3.5 million increase in the number of people in the survey, or sorry, in the census. Okay, so we can look at, so religion code I don't need, region code I don't need, so let me hide those. And then I think some of these other ones have, so local authority, so unless, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hide that, and then I'm going to hide upper tier local authority. Yeah, so I'm just going to get rid of some of these fields that are going to be a bit distracting, so both of these ones that are codes. Now, if I were going to join to a spatial file, I would need to bring those back in, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. So let's start with start just by religion. So we've got 2021 and then 2011. So let me go ahead and do a dual axis there. Sorry, combined axis, and we get 2021 and 2011. So you can see how Christianity has really shrunk. So what I'm going to do, so this, I'm going to sort the religion field, so that's by descending. Okay, great. And then I want to show, I'm going to calculate the change. So change, and this is going to simply be 2021 minus 2011. Okay, and hit OK. And I'm going to drag that onto my secondary axis. And let's see, that's not what I want to do. I want to bring on the 2021 data again as a dual axis. Oh, nope, sorry. I'm going to, let's see, so let me duplicate this field first. And then I'm going to put it as a dual axis. Okay, and now on my measure values, I'm going to make those bars. And then on the observations, I'm going to make that a Gantt bar. I could have sworn I picked a Gantt bar. And I'm going to go ahead and drag the change to the size now. And then let me synchronize. Okay, so my change needs to go the opposite direction. So, what I'm trying to do is just show the difference between these two. So I need to duplicate this field instead, and let's put that here, and then that should do the trick. There we go. And I'm going to move these fields around. So let's put that one down here, 2021 at the top, and now we've got our difference. So so let's go ahead and hide the header here. And the Gantt bar, I'm going to just make nice and thin. That way we're just using that as a difference calculation. And then I'm going to put maybe the change onto color. And now I can see the red to orange difference. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original article because they had a bar chart in here. So I'm basically kind of mimicking this bar chart, but I'm also showing the difference between the two. But this is percentage of people. So let me see if I can change this. So let's add a table calculation, and I'm going to make that percent of total by religion. Okay, and then this one we're going to make a percent of total, and we're going to compute that using religion. Okay, and then okay, so which one of these is 20, 21? Okay, so actually I need to bring this one. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to command and copy that up here. Okay, we get something like that, but now my change, I need to calculate a percent change. So let's edit that, and I'm going to call this percent change. So this is going to be the sum of that divided by the sum of observations 2011. That's going to give me a percentage, and then let's put that on let's see, is that it? Observation. Ah, okay, so I need to, this needs to be a different field, so I'm just going to multiply by 1. And then let's synchronize. Oh, I did synchronize. Okay, so something's not quite right here. Oh, okay, so I did the percent change calculation wrong. So let's edit this. And I'm just going to put percent change from table calcs. And this is going to be my 2011. So let's put that whole thing in. So my 2021 minus my 2011. So let's put that here. So bracket, bracket, and then this should be bracket and bracket. Let's see if that works. Okay. There we go. That didn't work. It should just be a minus, not a no, minus. So 2021. Okay, so let's look at this here. So percent change from table calc. Okay, so we get that, and then I want to just show the difference between the two. Okay. Compute using religion. There we go. Okay. So now I'm able to show, I'm going to save this over here. So this is 2021 percent of religion. Now this is going to be percent of I'll just say by religion. Nope. Percent of total 2021, and then this one is going to be percent of total 2011. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go back over to the Guardian, and they have red for 2021 and gray for 2020. So let's see if we can match their colors. And 2021, they are using this. Actually, what I could do here, let's inspect this. And let me see here. Okay, so what color red are they using? 204, 10, 17. Okay. So 204, 10, 17. And then this color, the gray one, is, oh, it had the hex code. What was it here? Let me hover over that again. It's B3, B3, B4. Okay. Okay, so that shows those two. And then, yeah, so this is just showing the difference. So maybe what I could do then is in my my change, sum change. Let's see. Oh, that's the color. So I probably want to color by the percent change. Okay, and then I'm going to edit my colors. Let's see, default properties. Actually, let me edit the calculation first. Default table calculation, compute using religion. Okay. And then let's default properties, color. And what I'm thinking is maybe I could do some kind of diverging color palette here. So let's start with maybe a red to black. But this color I want to be the same as this one. And then maybe we'll leave it like that. And I'm going to set the center. It's not going to let me set the center. Okay. So we'll set the center at 0. And let's, we could do this as just 2 colors. And then maybe we make this the B3, B3, B4. Okay, so now I can tell which one is the larger value. So we're getting something pretty similar to the original. So let me get rid of this title. And then I'm going to hide the header. And then these both need to be a percentage. Default properties, number format, percentage to, let's say 0 decimals, because I think they're probably, yeah. Right. Okay. So no, Muslim, religion not stated. Hindu. I'm just trying to make sure they go the same way. Okay, great. All right, and then we can maybe shrink this up a bit. That should hopefully make everything a bit smaller. All right, and then I'm going to format this and make it centered vertically. And then what I need to do is, okay, that's fine. So if I were going to put this, yes, so anyway, what I'm trying to do here is I am looking at, this is kind of like 2 bars with a % difference. If you're showing which is larger, shouldn't those be reversed? Yes, you are correct, Michael. Thank you very much. So edit colors. Oops. Thank you, Michael, for pointing that out. Default properties, color, and I'm going to just reverse them. That makes it easy for me. And then I need to now reverse my colors here. Reversed. Okay, there we go. That's better. Right, so then maybe what I could do is if I add labels onto the ends of everything, so let's show mark labels. So default properties, number format, percentage. Okay, what happened here? Ah, okay, so the reason this has to be a different field up here is because it'll inherit the properties of the other one. So if I reuse the same field, it's not going to let me use different chart types. I know I didn't explain that well, but let's see. So we want to format, and let's make this numbers percentage 0 decimals. Oh, but the % change is what should be on the label as well. Okay. Yeah, labels, they don't look great. Let's entire view, and then I'm going to hide this header. Is that better? Probably not, but let me highlight all three of these default properties. Number format, let's make them 1 decimal. But I don't think 1 decimal is really necessary. Okay, I don't think the labels are helping us much, so I'm going to get rid of the mark labels. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna show this header again. And then so measure values. So let's format. Let's see, the axis, we want that to be a percentage, 0 decimals. And then it looks like what they've done is they have ticks every 10. So I'm going to edit my axis. And in my tick marks, I'm going to make them fixed and then every 10. There we go. Okay, so that's good. And then I can also format the view and get rid of my row dividers. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so it's a bit hard. I think for me it's a bit hard to see them going across, so I'm going to try to add in a bit of row banding and see what it looks like. Okay. Now we need to leave it like that. I always have a bit of trouble with this, getting it just right. There we go. So now I can kind of have them going across in the band, so I think that makes it a bit easier to see. Okay, and then what I would do then is go to the All Marks card and bring these 3 fields. Let's bring all 3 of these fields onto the tooltip. Make sure they're all computing by religion, which I believe they will be. Yep. Okay, and now when we hover over our tooltip, we can see all of the numbers together. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And then let me edit this axis. So that's kind of, you know, showing what the different, basically this chart here, the religion with which people identify. So you know, it's very, very simple, but I think it's very easy to understand as well, because this then shows the change. The thing that I'm wondering though is if I should switch the colors around, because like I'm associating the red with bad here, and I need to pick different colors because I'm associating red with bad, and it doesn't necessarily mean bad, it just means larger, like for the change here. So I'll come back to that if I want to change it later. But in the meantime, let me continue on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this sheet, but this time instead of using religion, let's maybe try it by region. And everything breaks, which is fine. Compute using, and then, no, this isn't going to help though. This is going to, right, so let's maybe do it like that. And then let's just make it fit width. So now this is breaking out each of the regions. So let me rotate the label. And then I think what I'm going to do now is when I format this view, I'm going to, on my row divider, I'm going to turn my row divider back on. So let me actually clear that. Oh, it's annoying. You should be able to click on this and, God, it's so annoying. And there we go. So I'm just trying to add a border between each of the regions. So let me make it a bit darker and see what that looks like. Okay, it's all right. It's not fantastic. And then the column dividers we don't need. And then the 0 lines we don't need. Okay, so that cleans it up a bit. And let's format this. Let's make it maybe a darker font. Tableau, maybe semi-bold, semi-bold, and maybe 12 point. Let's make it nice and big so it's easy to distinguish them from each other. Okay, so now we can see the same thing, the breakdown by region. Okay, still any questions on here? Is there any way to move the value axis to the top instead of the bottom? Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So let me duplicate this sheet, and we want to show the axis at the top instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this header again, and I need to format it. So let's format number percentage 0 decimals. 0 decimals. Why is it not going? Am I an idiot? There we go. Okay, so what I would do in this case then, if I only want them at top, if I hide the bottom axis, it hides the top one as well. So what you have to do is you have to format the bottom axis and just make the font white. And that's kind of the best you can do. I know it's not great, but it's something. So hopefully that answers your question a bit. So but that does put the percentages up at the top. It might be useful actually to have them both at the top and the bottom. But yeah, that's a way to handle that. Okay, so we've kind of covered. So we've taken it by what am I trying to say here? We've looked at it by religion as a total, so across the whole country or across all of England, and then we've broken it down by region, and these are probably alphabetical. So so I want to sort this nested. Okay, yeah, so that's good. Okay. All right, so that kind of breaks them down that way, which looks okay. The problem now is we have how many regions do we have? We have region. We have 1, 2, we have 9. So maybe like a 3x3 grid might be a bit better. But how am I going to do that? I just did this the other week, didn't I? I'm just wondering if seeing them all like in a kind of like 3 down, 3 across, something like that. So let me delete this sheet. Okay. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to group those, and I'm going to call that edit alias, make that 1. Take these 3 and group those and make those, oops, edit alias 2, and then these, let's edit the alias, and that's going to be 3. And then this field is going to be my, I want these to go down, so this is going to be my rows. Let's rename this as our rows. Oh, what happened there? What do I have extra? Edit group. Oh, these two need to be in that group. There we go. Okay. So that's the rows, and then I want to the columns then. So let's put region on here again. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. So group, and this is, it's group 1, and then 1, 2, 3 is going to be an alias group 2. And then these 3, group, edit alias 3, and then let's rename this as column. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it anyway. So let's move that to the columns and move, actually let's, so I duplicated it. Okay, so I'm going to take row to the rows, and then column to the columns, and then region. I think I want to put region on detail. So let's put region on detail. Okay, now I've got 3 across, 3 down. Okay, so this is probably the East Midlands. Okay, so I've created like a 3x3 grid here now. The problem is, how do I label these? How have I done this before? It's probably actually easiest just to build 3 separate sheets. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We don't want this, so let's uncheck show header. Uncheck show header. Fit width. Okay. But we don't know which region is which, so it's not very helpful. So, okay, let me try something here. You'll have to tell me if you think this works or not. So I'm going to call this my region label. And my idea here is, can I label just above this red bar with the region? So I'm going to say if religion equals Christian, and but I don't have the year field. Shoot. Let's see. Okay, let's try this. And index equals 1. Then I want to what do I want to do here? Then I want to return the region. And okay, I'm going to get an error, so let's make this an attribute. So this is only going to work if I get a single value back. That's what the attribute function does. Okay, so I'm going to go to these bars, and I'm going to put region label onto label. Okay, so let's edit this now. And oh, I don't have a nested. So no, I want to do it. I don't want to do it for, yeah, I want to do it for every other region. Okay, so it's labeling this one though. Okay, let me go here to the label, and I'm going to put it above. What'd that do? That didn't do anything. Okay, let's try, can I put a grand total on subtotals? Okay, what happened to my subtotals? Okay, so let's undo that. Subtotals. Okay, so let's move those to the top, and then I want to, is it going to let me hide the marks? Automatic. Min. Okay, normally you can, yeah, so that's not what I want. Usually there's a hide option here, but I don't know why there's not. Okay, so let me and let's make this a discrete. And I'm just going to put this on label for now instead of the region. And they're all labeled 1. Okay, so we want to it to do table down, no, pane down, and then across. Yes, that's not right. So we want to do it for each column and each row. Okay, where's my number 1 now? Okay, maybe that's it. But again, it's putting it at. All right, let me try this again. I'm trying to get it to count kind of down the view, but I think that's not going to work because I'm using measure names to split up the view. Yeah, that's why it's not working. Okay, so let me. Okay, so if I move this label to the left, puts it inside of the bar. Interesting. Okay, so now I can see them. Right. Mark label, never show. Okay, so we've got East Midlands, Northeast, and then here we need to hide these labels. Mark label, never show. Okay, so kind of a hacky way to get around it. And then maybe what I could do here is I could increase this axis to go from like minus 0.09 to 0.8, just to sort of spread them out a bit. Don't love it. Okay. Well, that's okay. Didn't work. That's fine. Okay, so what are some other things we could do here then? So we want to look at, it could always do just like a simple slope graph. So let me put this here, and then I'm going to make this a line, and then I could put maybe I'll do it by religion, and then split it up by, put a line for each region. Oh no, do I already have region on there? Oh, I meant to put, well yeah, let's do it this way. Let's do religion. And then if I put, okay, so I don't think this is going to do anything. Oh, okay, it did. So I'm going to again make this, so 2011, let's make this like, I don't know, we need two colors, so let's make that one blue. And let's make this one like, I don't know, some kind of reddish color. Orange. And then let's set the center to 0. Right, so this is now, we want to make this 2 steps. Step 2. So now we can see which ones increase, so which religions increased and decreased between the 2 years. So I'm going to actually rename this to be just 2011, and then rename this one to be, okay. So, okay, so that's, it's telling us something, nothing particularly interesting. I think I can make this look a bit better though by dragging 2011 onto the same axis. And now if I put measure names here, no, okay, that didn't work. Okay, so again, not particularly useful. I'm going to swap these two around though. So I'm going to take region and religion, and I'm going to swap them. And here you go. So now you can see there's been a drop in Christianity. Oh, that's a bit more interesting. So let me reverse the colors. Yes, you see across every region, Christianity has decreased. Interesting. Okay, so percent of total 2011, percent of total 2021. Compute using religion. Okay, is that right? So 40. So London 48%. Let's see here. Got London. Christianity is 48 and 41. Okay, so 48 and 41. Okay, so if I take that off the view, now we see the total. Okay, getting there. I'm going to now again look at, let's do it like this. And then I want to put percent of total for 2021, percent of total for 2011 on the same axis. I'm going to move measure names to, let's just put on color for now and make them circles. And then I'm going to put the average of 1. And I'm going to make this one a bar. And let's just take measure names off of color there. And then if I make this a dual axis and move marks to front and synchronize. Okay. So let's go here. Let's make this a light gray. What I'm trying to, so this is now kind of showing us the percent of total. There's a viz from Makeover Monday a couple weeks ago. Who the heck did it? That's what I'm trying to recreate. Let's see. That's holidays. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't remember seeing that one. Oh. Wow, there's a lot of great visits. I wish people would tag me in these so I saw them. Wow, these are like super cool. But there's one in particular I'm trying to find. It might have been this one. Let's see. Let's see if I can maybe look at it on Tableau Public instead. Why does it not keep me signed in? It's annoying. Okay, so these are, yes, this is kind of what I was thinking. Wonder if I change the colors for this. Let's make these maybe blue. So now I can see where they fall on like a percentage scale. So let me format this view, and I'm going to make it percentage 0 decimals. And then my grid lines, let's turn the grid lines on for the columns. What if I make them like dark? Okay, so that at least kind of shows them in the background a bit better. Something like that. Okay. And now we can see where they fall. Okay, so in each region we can now see, okay, so let me sort. We want to do nested descending by 2021. Okay, so the red dots are kind of descending. The problem now is some of them are bigger than others. So what if I put measure names onto size as well? And then let's maybe drag this over a bit. Just trying to kind of put, I want to be able to see both of them, so that's what I'm trying to do here. I think maybe I need to find better colors. Let's see, so if I go back to this, yeah. Okay, is data blending now obsolete? It is definitely not obsolete. I use it quite often, actually. Okay, so yeah, so here what I'm trying to do is just show the different. I'm putting in different sizes so I can see both of them. I'm going to switch my colors. So what if I make this one like a yellowish color? What's that going to look like? Apply. It's easier to distinguish the blue and the yellow, but it's hard to, yeah. That's okay. Orange and blue isn't bad. But maybe I should reverse them. Let me make 2011 orange and 2021 blue. Let's try that. I like it the other way around. I like the bigger circles to be orange. I don't know. What do you think of that one? Curious in your feedback on that. We can always do a barbell chart, but that's not going to be particularly interesting. Plus, I've done a ton of those so far this year. All right, so let me just keep scrolling through here and see if there's anything that pops out. So this is okay. So they just recreated it. Oh, Stanley's in the data school. Okay. The other option is to look at every single, if I look at, let's say 2020% of total 2021, percent of total 2011, and that's calculated by religion. Okay, so let's put that here. Swap them around. Okay. Now if I put, no, I want to put religion here, right? Yep. And then if I put every single, let's put upper tier local authority on that. And then let's make it a line. Interesting, almost every area has a decline and an increase. Okay, so I wonder if we could so for each region, so let me think about this. So for each region, I want to know how many had an increase and how many had a decrease. Okay, so let's say that, so change. So that's just the difference between the two. Okay, so let's say increased. And I'm just going to say change is less than 0. Oh, sorry, greater than 0. Okay, and I'm just going to put this here, and then I'm going to right click and drag this to the text. Oops, I thought I did that. Wrong key. And let's do a count distinct. Okay. Ah, okay, but I need to put religion on here as well. So in East Midlands, okay, but the East Midlands has okay, so let me rename this to increase. And then let's rename this one to decrease. All right. So this is now going to help me know how many increased and how many decreased within each. Right, so this is, what I'm trying to do is get a number. Let me try this. Let me put total subtotals on. Let's see. So we've, oh, but that's a count distinct, so that doesn't help. So there's 35, so in the East Midlands, there's 35 lower tier, what's it called? Lower tier local authorities. For Christians, all 35 of them decreased. Okay, so I'm going to look at this data just to double check that that's correct, full data. Okay, So it's looking at just Christian. They're all negative, so they all decreased. Interesting. Okay. So, and then what if I made this? What if I made this a percent of total? No. And then let's edit the table calc. We want to go. Yeah, that's right. We want to go like that. So this is now telling us how many increased and how. Okay, so let's see if we can make something of this. So format, and let's make this a percentage. So what we're looking at now is, so in the East Midlands, 100% of the lower, of each of the lowest level geographic areas had a decrease in the number of Christians. Okay, so let me duplicate this. Oh, I need to go here in a minute. And what if we put that there and move that to color? Okay. So now this is telling me how many increased and how many decreased. What am I trying to say here? Yes, this is for each region. It's now telling me, okay, so let me try my, I'm going to duplicate this again, and I'm going to try putting my columns and my rows on here. Columns and rows, and then region onto label. Okay, let's put on our totals, subtotals, and then move that to the top. And then will it let me, oh, it's not going to let me hide them. Okay, there we go. So now I'm able to hide my totals. So where's my, oh no, I don't want region on label. I want my, where's my region label field? There it is. Let's put, so my region on detail, region label on label. And then let's edit this calc. And we don't want to do table down. We want to do for each row and column, we want to get the okay, let's see here. So that's not right. Let's edit this label. Oh no, this is a wrong thing. Let me duplicate this. This would be my region. Okay, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. So let's compute using, let's edit the table calc for each row and column. Okay, does that give me the right? Okay, and then let's edit this again. Let's add increased. Close that. Okay, that didn't work. Still gotta do it. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sort these by the field 2021 descending. Okay. And now if I set this label to be the left, but some of them aren't going to, oh God, this is so annoying. What I'm trying to do is to get the label up above the bar. Okay, so that doesn't work. So let's get rid of that. And I'm going to put the average of 0. And then make this a dual axis. And synchronize. And we want them all to be bars. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one is put we can take measure names off, we could take region off, we could take increased off. And then here we want to get measure names off. Okay, so then on this one I'm going to put region on the label. But I only want it to label the min, I believe, min religion. No, that's not right. We want to do the min, min rows. No. Min cell. Shoot, I'm just guessing now. So for each pane, I want to get the region. Okay. Okay, how about a stacked bar chart of the top 3 by total number of practitioners for each decade? We don't have decade though. I think each decade in a specific. Okay. I'm just trying to not label some of these bars. Okay, I know this is manual, but I don't really care at this point. Okay. And then what I could do is I could format my totals and just make it just get rid of the label. Right. Okay, so then this I need to reduce the transparency to 0. And, oh, sorry, reduce the opacity to 0. Why is it not making it go away? Let's just make it white then. You can see there's a little mark inside of each of these. That's super annoying. Okay, there we go. The trick with this is explaining to people what this is actually doing. All right, so if I go back to my dot plot here, this one, I'm going to see if I can replicate that with this view, but I want to put different fields on here. So I want to have my percent of total 2021 and my percent of total 2011. And then make this the average of 1. Okay, so why is this adding up now? I think there's got 2 blue bars. Okay, so let's go here. Let's get rid of measure names. Okay, so let me make this one a Gantt bar. Let's make it just a bar. Let's see. Okay. And then this one, why is that splitting up by into 2 bars? Okay, so let's go to measure values. Right, so let's make this circles. Okay, this has turned into a mess. Right, what idea do I like best? Because it is 6:07 and I need to be done. Okay, let's try one more thing. Let's do region and 2021. Where's religion? Okay, let's do this. And then 2011 up here. And then let's synchronize, but I'm gonna edit this axis and have it reverse. Oh no, but that synchronizes them, so I don't want to do that. Okay, let's try this. I'm just going to put a minus in the front of this to make it go the other way around. And then let's make them all bars. And then let's sort the religions by the field descending 2021. Okay, so we could do something like that. So that's kind of the butterfly chart I think some of you were mentioning. Okay, so that's that. Let me duplicate this, and this time let me get rid of that. So I have my measure names. I'm going to put 21% of total onto detail, and I'm going to add that as a reference line. So for each cell, let's edit that reference line. Let's make it percent of total 2011. I'm going to make it black and untick. Let's make it like that. Okay, so that's 2011 versus 2021, and then maybe I put my, where is it, increased or decreased onto color. And why am I getting this split up now? Oh, because some increased, okay, so I can't use that. I want to use, percent change. Yep. So, and if we reverse that, let's undo that. Okay, so this is now telling me in the East Midlands where Christianity decreased. So this is just another way to look at the increase or the decrease between the two. I know this isn't great, but I think I'm going to go with this one. So let me do a bit of formatting. Let me rotate the label. Let me format this to make it nice and big. 12, dark, semi-bold. Alignment is center. Nope, not that way. Center. There we go. And then I'm going to hide the field labels. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to maybe see if I can find some colors I like. Design. Let's try couleurs. So couleurs is neat because you can look at manage cookies. Let's do this. Okay, so maybe I look at some of these colors. So we've got, these are trending colors, 2A, 9D, 8F, copied to the clipboard. So let's make that one this one. And paste, click on OK. And then the second color, maybe we make this one. Let's try that. Paste, OK, OK. So we get something like that, but again, okay, and then maybe if I copy this color and let's make the bars in the background this color. Paste. Okay, that makes the green really hard to look at. You can't really spot the green on that. But what if I put maybe white borders around them? Okay, maybe what I'll do then is I'll make maybe the bar in the back should be the yellow color. So this is that. Paste. Okay. And then for these colors, maybe I choose, let's try this one. Probably not going to be enough contrast between the two, but let's try anyway. Okay. I'm just going to keep playing around here for a minute. So let's look at this yellow. Maybe this one. Okay. So I'd like the darker color, but I need to find something that contrasts with that color. So I like the dark color, but the light color I need to change. What if I just try this one? Okay, that's almost impossible to see. I don't think this is going to be much better. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, let me go back to maybe light gray. Okay, I think that's okay. So, the problem now is this one doesn't. Will this wrap if I make it a bit bigger? There we go. Okay, and I'm going to format the whole workbook and change my font to something that I actually like. Oh, what is Unisans? Oh, that's not bad. I kind of like that. So let me format this one and let's make it, let's see if there's a bold option for it. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, neat. Okay. All right, so in the tooltip then, I want to have my totals, my change. Let's put all of those onto the, no, we want to put those, we don't want a tooltip on this one, so let's get rid of the tooltip here. But we should still have a tooltip on those. Okay, so let's go to these. I'm going to put all of these fields on the tooltip. Okay, and then measure names. Measure values. Measure names. No, where is it here? That is not going to be in the tooltip. Okay, and let's get rid of the axis. All right. I think this this is a bit shouty here, so let me format this again. I don't think I'm going to do bold. I think I'm just going to make it maybe black. Maybe I'll pick the color to start it with there. Okay, might have to change the font. Okay, so we've got that. I wonder if I should get rid of the border on the circles. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Okay, Pareto chart. I don't think a Pareto will work with this particular data set. Okay, what was I looking at? Now I forget. I just got distracted. Okay, I'm going to continue to do a bit of formatting here while I think. Let's get rid of the 0 lines. And let's get rid of the column dividers. Okay, we still want the row dividers. I think those are fine. My grid lines, okay. I still like having those in there. What else should we do here? There was something else I was... Oh, we need to clean up the tooltips here. Okay, so measure names we don't want. Okay, so we've got our region. Let's try religion. What are we, 2011? They called it observations, so maybe I'll just observations. Actually, I'll just put 2021 census, and then 2020 census, and then I'm going to put this field here, but I'm going to unbold it. And then 2021, let's put that here with a bracket and a bracket. Get rid of the bold. And do we need the percent change? That's fine, yeah, percent change. Like that. Okay, so let's make this nice and big. Let's see what that looks like now. East Midlands. Okay, so let's switch this around. Let's maybe make this 10 and unbold. And then I'm going to make these all bigger. So let's make those 14. Okay, so go back in here again. Okay. Okay, East Midlands not answered. 2011 census, 2021 census. Percent change. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to keep dabbling here for a minute. Let's make this 10 and 10 and 10 preview. Okay, that looks terrible. All right, so something like that. Okay, let's make this maybe 14, and then make these 12. God, the formatting takes forever. Okay, so that gives me that. All right, so now I'm going to, I should probably save. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Makeover Monday, 2022, week 51. Oops. And this is, what's this called? Religious affiliation in the UK. All right, so then let me, so that's sheet 7. So let's get rid of, maybe we'll leave the phone there for now. So we know we want this to be tall. It doesn't necessarily need to be very wide. Okay, and I'm just going to drop this in here. I think it's 1400, right? Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to add in, oops. so let's put sheet 7 inside of that. And then go here. And I want to remove that container. Remove from dashboard. Delete. Okay. Okay, so let's make this maybe 11, maybe 10 point. But I need to remember which color is which now. Okay, so 2011 is the red and 2021 is the darker color. 2021 is the red, okay. Oh, great. And then what's my red color? Sheet 7. I just need to grab the hex code for this. Copy. Right. All right, so now I'm going to change my font for the whole workbook because this one isn't working very well. It looks nice, but doesn't okay, that's not too bad. Okay. So how are we looking now? Let's go to the bottom here. On this sheet, I'm going to turn on my captions. And let's center align this. I spent a lot of time on this just to get a little dot plot. Okay, so data source is the UK census. Created by Alright, how do my tooltips look? Okay, that all looks good. Okay. So should I change my reddish color? I wonder if I chose maybe a blue. Let me try this real quick. Because they are more British colors when you do that. Alright. Save again just so it doesn't break. I'm going to look for kind of a Christmassy data set next week. But it's been taking me quite a while to find interesting data sets lately, which is pretty annoying. So I want to fit this to the entire view, so that shrinks it up too much. So I like to do that. So now I know how I need to increase the size of my, I could just click it one at a time to make it fit in the view the way I want. Okay. I think that's okay. So we've got a really, really tall visualization now. Okay. One last thing here. So what if we looked at what are the upper tier local authorities versus the lower tier? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the percent of total for 2021. No, I don't want to do that. So just going to put 2021 and 2011. Let's put measure names onto color. And 2011 was our like bright red somewhere. I'll just use that one. Nope. I think it was that. So let's shrink this up. What I'm going to do here is let's hide the field labels, and then let's sort these by. No. What I'm thinking is when I hover over one of these bars, what if I put a Viz and tooltip in here? No. Sorry, wrong button. So tooltip. And if I insert my sheet, what did I just call that sheet? Sheet 15. And then the field I want to pass is all fields. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Okay. So now we can hover over one of these. We can see each of the areas within the East Midlands and then Christian. Okay, so that's good. Okay, and then, but I want to sort these by the field 2021. Okay, and I'm going to label the marks. Okay, and maybe I'll shrink this down a bit. I'm sure I'm cutting some of these names off here. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay, what's this look like now? So I hover over one of these. All right, let's do a bit of formatting now. So format, get rid of our. Okay, we want to get rid of our row dividers and our column dividers. All right, so let's keep looking here. So Viz is too large to show. Okay, that's fine. So let me format this, and I'm going to center it. I'm going to add on some row banding. Okay, and then in my tooltip, sheet 7, I just need to make my tooltip a lot taller. So let's make it maybe 400 wide, and let's make it maybe 800 tall. That's the max. Oh, that's way too big. Tooltip. Okay, so I think that's all right. And let me go back over here, and I'm going to just rearrange these. And now we can see. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so I need to save again, and then I'm going to publish this up to Tableau Public. So sorry, I created a lot of stuff there, but hopefully you found that useful. Are there any last questions before I decide to hang up? Curious to know if you did you find this useful? I guess that's one thing. Don't forget to if you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to like it. Maybe tell some others about it. Maybe they'll find it useful too. I'd love it if each one of you just shared this with one person, and then maybe they subscribe, and we continue to build out this this community. Okay, I'll give you just a second to ask any last questions. Just let me know kind of what you thought. Okay, yes, Emmanuel, I'm actually going to write like a tweet thread that goes through all of the different color palettes that I use, or sorry, all the different websites that I use for creating colors. So hopefully you'll find that useful as well. Okay, well, it looks like we're all done. And I would like to thank you all for joining me today. And again, have a great holiday weekend coming up. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you that don't, enjoy whatever holidays you have this weekend. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.